I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Not a lot of big changes here across the country domestically in our weather. And honestly, I'm not making many changes worldwide either. Let's just do a quick update. Generally speaking, we've got a strong area of precipitation trying to lift off to the east. What's interesting here is the fact that we are seeing a warm front lift up over parts of Indiana, and this is going to allow temperatures actually to bump up just a little bit before a cool front comes in. The cool front has worked through pretty much as anticipated in most areas except down in eastern Oklahoma and Arkansas. I got a little bit blindsided by a batch of thunderstorms and showers that have held together quite nicely coming out of Oklahoma and into Arkansas. And so they could still be an issue. We'll have to watch those up into the Missouri boot heel and maybe even into southern Illinois as this front moves through. But generally speaking, the remains or the ghost of Patricia will be moving away. Now, we're not going to get rid of the winds anytime soon, looking for some very gusty winds across a large part of the Corn Belt and some gray and damp conditions. This is not exceptional dry down weather. We do see another weather system that will be coming across the country as we go through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Looking at this system, putting down some significant moisture, for example, in the southern and central plains. I like moisture developing over Texas and eastern New Mexico as we go through Friday, lifting northward up into Kansas and then kicking out into the Missouri Valley, eventually working across the Corn Belt by the time we get done with Sunday. In the central and southern plains, I like rainfall totals of anywhere from half to probably 2.5 inches. Heaviest rains will be in Texas. So if flooding rains were a story in Texas a week ago, look for them to be a story again. As you see this system move to the east, we'll still see rains of an inch or better in the lower delta. But getting up into the Corn Belt, I like rainfall totals of half to 1 inch. You might even have to put that down to a quarter to 1 inch farther north you go. So we'll be watching for that. But still, good rains and rains that probably will lead to a few delays, especially after the moisture that we've just seen move through a large part of the Corn Belt. Keep an eye on mid to late week next week. Got a nice system coming together there. I still think this system is going to be predominantly liquid. In other words, I'm calling for this to be a rain event in the Corn Belt, definitely, and even back into the plains. The latest GFS model run, which everybody knows is my favorite, not. It shows this and is trying to put this out as a significant snowstorm for southern South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, northeast Colorado. I will grant you some snow in the higher elevations out in the Rockies. I have trouble seeing this thing developing into that kind of snowmaker all the way out into the plains. Time will tell. All right, and I may change my tune, but as it stands right now, you may hear some other people jumping on the snowmonger bandwagon. It will not be me. I'm looking for liquid. I'm looking for totals probably on the order of a quarter to maybe 1 inch, and this system will move across the rest of the Corn Belt all the way through the 7th into the 8th, so it will be a nice little batch of moisture there early on. Could see some thunderstorms with it early on in the month of November. Want to take a quick gander at some international weather right now, just see what's going on there. Generally speaking, we have no reason to get too excited about massive changes in our thought process. Let's start first with the Black Sea region, the former Soviet Union. Generally speaking there, we've got strong high pressure still in control for the rest of this week into early next. I do think that we're going to be seeing that high pressure dome ease just a little bit, probably early to middle part of next week. Right now, though, the easing of the high moving off to the east doesn't necessarily spell a big push of wet weather coming back. As a matter of fact, as I look at things right now, I'm looking at just scattered light shower action trying to sneak into parts of Ukraine, the central region, and the southern region as we go on through the later stages of next week. The best moisture might actually end up developing in Kazakhstan and maybe over into the Volga region next week. So dry weather there for the most part. We go from there to another area that's gotten a lot of attention here recently, and that's Australia. There are rains moving into Australia, decent rains over the course of the next 10 days. Latest model runs still say, hey, we've got a shot at moisture. The eastern half, I should say the eastern third to quarter of the Australian wheat belt has the best rain potential, but we actually really like moisture from midday Sunday right on through Tuesday over the southern region or southern South Australia and Western Australia. System, if it can shift further north just a little bit, would be even better. Right now, the heaviest rains seem to be just off the south coast of Australia, so we'll keep an eye on that, see if it wants to shift north. And again, heavy rains over eastern parts of the wheat belt. So that's some good news there, but no real deviation from our forecast. And the other place that we're going to touch on quickly, Brazil, South America in general, we still see ample rain over the course of the next 10 days to 2 weeks. 1 to 3 inches is what I'm going with for the period. I know there are forecasts out there that say more. I'm going conservative. Not a lot on any given day, but total is definitely going to be something that these folks can work with. That's the way we're stacking up. If you got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.